Hi, I'm Greg Haw, and I am going to go over the benefits of having a database website for research and data analysis. So, as you know, if you have a website in the internet, you can access that data from anywhere in the world. So, when I worked for UCSF, we had added security so we would VPN in, and I can enter my data from anywhere and share it with others. So, a typical case when starting out would be users would have their data in Microsoft Excel, and I would just import that data into our Microsoft SQL Server database. Or if the data resided in another server, like if Microsoft SQL Server or Oracle was in another server, I would use something called link server to capture that data, to query that data into our database. Um, And once I have that data, what I can do is I can put it into user-friendly interfaces like a grid to see the data in Tableville where you can see multiple data and you can sort, you can filter, or you can zoom into a specific record to see things in form view. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to show you some of the interfaces I developed. So here's our landing page. I'm going to click on the very first one, demo site using ASP.NET SQL Server. So this is going to bypass the login screen. So the reason why I had that was a while back I did 4 presentations on the Tableau JavaScript API. So Tableau is a way to show things or to show your data visually. So users wanted to be able to show their managers and coworkers some of the samples I did on my presentation without having to log in. But if you were a user that had a user ID and password, no worries, because you may have things that are private to the rest of the world, so you need a user ID and password to enter things so that you can enter stuff. And when users like a Tableau user comes in without having to log in with the user ID and password, they can see what you entered in, but they can't enter data in. So that's an example. So what if you had a user ID and password? All you would have to do is just log out, go here, log in with your user ID and password, and voila. So here I'm coming as Greg Call Info. It says, "Good morning, Gregory. I'm a super admin here. I have my contacts here, which you will not see when you come in as a Tableau user." So I may have more features here. I want it private to the rest of the world. But if I want to go in, let's go in as a Tableau user again. So I can log out here. I can click here for auto login. And when I click here, I'm going to come in as a Tableau user. This is the one where when you launch the site, it bypasses the user ID and password. So it says, "Good morning, Tableau user, non-admin." Notice you do not see my contacts here. So this is, again, that's a really good way to for you to be able to show the rest of the world general information or information without having to log in. So it's easy pleasy for them. But you may have a group user ID and password or an individual user ID and password, so you can enter stuff in or you can see things that are private to others. So what I'm going to do here is show you some of the interfaces I have. Let's go to my task. Let's go to the task grid manager. So once you're able to get the data, you can put it into a nice grid like this. Telerik grid, I use Telerik a lot. It's a third-party vendor. It has a lot of components. So here, a typical usage here in a grid would be able to sort, filter, I have my flyout menus, so you can see things in form view here, for example. So this is something I wish I could patent. So this is something I designed, flyout menus. It saves a lot of real estate. So this menu represents this specific record. So I have it for each record here. So again, sorting is common. If I click here on a column, for example, click on categories, this means it's in ascending order. You see the arrow going up. Click it again, you see the arrow going down. It's in descending order. If I click it one more time, it goes back to the original sort when I launched this page. So filtering is probably the most common usage that I've seen for data analysis. So Notice you see this filter, this funnel here on every single column. For example, I can click here. And let's say I want to get my YouTube records for under category. So I can click here. My favorite filter or querying is contains anything that contains, let's say YouTube. So I can just type in YOU, it's not case sensitive, good enough. Click on filter, I get my YouTube records, right? So here, what I want to do here, so with my YouTube records, the reason why I had a YouTube category was because I wanted a way to be able to search and find a specific YouTube video. So I have my, right here, you can see the description of the YouTube video here, the token, so it can find that specific video, and a button, a YouTube button, so you can click on it and it launches the video. And what I did here too, notice that it's under tasks, it takes the first 50 characters and puts it under the category right here. And that's because if I want to scroll right or left or right, I can always see which, in tasks or what this video is, this the description of the video. So this is a task management system where to track tasks. So I wanted to be able to, again, if I scroll right, if you bypass and you can no longer see this task column, you can always see it here, which is because I freeze the first field columns here. You can always see the categories. So underneath, I put the first 50 characters. You can always see what task you're on when you scroll right. So anyway, so filtering. So again, this is the reason why I created this YouTube category, so I can find specific videos. So in here, I can filter again. I can filter multiple times. Let's filter on anything that contains, how about Dora, for Dora the Explorer. So D-O-R-A, it's not case sensitive. I click on filter and voila, I get Dora the Explorer winner. Again, here's my token, so it can find that specific video. Click on my YouTube button, and voila, Dora the Explorer winner. I can click here to play my video.
Yay!
Who won?
So once this video is done, it does an automatic replay. So I'll close this guy. Yeah, so YouTube videos are really helpful. It teaches me how to, learn how to cook certain recipes. I learned it to fix my car, and I used it as a developer. I use it so that users can learn how to navigate through interfaces. So let's close this guy. And if I want all my YouTube records back, easy pleasy. So on the task right here where I have my description, all I have to do is clear the filter and I get all my YouTube records back. And then I can go and look for another YouTube video. How about push-ups? P-U-S-H, good enough, not case sensitive. Click on filter, Alicia's push-ups, click YouTube, the YouTube button, push-ups at 5. I made my daughter do push-ups a while back. Yeah, so that's how that works. Again, if you want all your YouTube records back, just clear this guy, voila. Or you can do something called save your grid state. If I click on this button, this top menu bar, click on this selection here, save grid state. If I move off this page, let's move completely off this page. I go to my home menu, and I go back to the task grid manager, because I may want to do something else, and then come back to my task grid manager. It's going to remember my filter grid state, my YouTube records right here. If I want everything back, no worries. Just click on reset grid state, get all my records back. I can see 50 records at a time, 100 records at a time, however you want it. Right here, and then you can go to the next 50 records or 100 records, or go back right here. So yeah, so if you do not need to use the grid state, save grid state, and you filter on something, let's just filter on this again. Anything that contains YouTube, YOU, filter on that. You can just click on reload and get all your records back once you filter it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. Oh, so attachments are a common feature, right? So let me just show you this. It says here, I have 6 attachments right here, right over here, or I can go to my file menu, go right here, File Main, go to Attachments, or I can just click here since I have 6 to go to my interface, Attachments interface. So when you have attachments, if it's an image file, I can click on it. You can see it right here. If it's a PDF, I can click on it. This is my resume. Just click on it. And once you're done, you can remove that tab. Yeah, pretty cool. Image file. So one thing about attachments, the way I designed it was that, for instance, if I went to the edit interface, you always see the attachments to the right. So everything's at your fingertips, right? When I'm editing this in form view, I'm coming here, looking at this, entering a lot of stuff. I have access to my attachments. I can see it right away. Just click on it, do stuff. It might be Word, Excel. It's a PDF. Again, this is my resume. Voila. Pretty cool. There's a lot of features there. I don't have time to show you everything. There's email. You can attach files. Oh, one thing I should show you here is notes. This is in graphics mode. It's pretty cool. You can, web addresses, you can links here, video links. You can embed YouTube videos, something I coded here. Yeah, you can click here. Stop. You have your attachments to the right. So you have an editor. Telerik, I'm using a Telerik component, which also comes with a code editor component. So like if I went to edit my notes, you can see it here. So one of the Pharm D students when I worked for UCSF, Christine Belaski, what she would do is she liked doing everything in Microsoft Word, and she was really good with that, and she would have really complex formats, have tables, and you name it. She would copy and paste it in here, right? You can do that, or you can just use the editor here. So I thought this is pretty cool. Fill your notes, go back to your task grid. Oh, one thing to note. I'm on tasks right now here, and if you have URLs here, if you enter URLs, you'll see it down here, and you can just click on it and automatically go to that URL. Or here for notes, what I did here was that if you have URLs here or URL here, it'll come in as link 1, 2, or 3. And you can hover over and you can see the URL. And then you can click on it too to get to that website. So close this here. And yeah, you can export to Excel, PDF. You can have headers. You can see groupings. You can say group headers here or groupings. There's a lot of stuff here. I think I showed you the major. Oh, one thing I have to show you, which is a very common feature, drag and drop sorting. So this specific system happens to be a task management system where I prioritize my tasks. So my task on a daily basis can change the priorities. So I have drag and drop sorting here, where, for example, I could say, this is really important. Alicia's spider dribbling. Again, I have fun stuff. This is just test records here. I may move things around here. This may not be that important. I can move it down. So there's drag and drop sorting. It's very user friendly. It's easy to sort things. Go back to my task grid. Pretty much covered everything here. I think let me show you another example really quickly. Right here, player analysis. So here I have these are dummy records. You can see here right away. You can see Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, where's the pack of peppers Peter Piper picked? You can change cohort, change years here. So there's a couple attachments here. You can see this in form view. So you can have more complex, formats here. You can enter your notes here. These are drop downs where you can edit stuff here. Again, these are dummy records here. I have Stephen Curry here. Once you edit things, you can save it here. Print or save to PDF. Let me close this guy. And once you have your data here, you can also do data visualization. I have stuff in Telerik, for example. You can have graphs here as well. Let's go back home. What else did I want to show you? So I did a lot of dashboards, data visualizations. Let me just show you an example here. Category counts. Let's just go to this first Tableau Dashboard. So in the Tableau Dashboard, what you can do is you can select objects. I can, for example, select objects here. And once I select my object, you'll see it up here, what I selected. This is called set actions. I get my ins and outs. So once you select objects, you can do whatever you want with it. You can save it to your database. You can pass it as parameters for other applications, or you can drill down. Again, once you select objects, you can do whatever you want with it using the Tableau JavaScript API event listener. So I can post my selected objects right here. You see the selected objects right up here. I get my values for the selected objects. I get my word cloud, my set actions, tree map where I can select objects here. I select a couple, get my ins and outs. You can do stuff like that using the Tableau JavaScript API event listeners. So close this guy. Let's just go home. So I also use Telerik for dashboards and reporting services. Yes, reporting services. So reporting services is known for developing really complex reports, grouping, sub-reporting, but you can also use it for dashboards. Um, so let me show you Telerik here, example here, right here. I have, so one thing cool about Telerik is that you can have a grid. Remember, you can have a grid where you can filter on it, or you can make changes to it, and the graph will be reflected on the changes. For example, Jeremy Lin right now, I'll change it to Stephen Curry. Notice the graph changes. Let's make this a vertical stack bar. You can do that. Um, You can, for example, like the Tableau JavaScript API event listeners, you can select objects. This time, this is a proof of concept. I just made this like a calculator, but you can do whatever you want with it. Once you select your object, you can save it to your database. You can pass it as parameters for other applications, or you can drill down or do something like I did here. Um, I have it where you can select objects, deselect. It's like a calculator. You can select, or add or subtract. If I deselect, you can do stuff like that. So there's more features, but yeah, those are basic stuff here. Another example, interface visits. I have my dual access. Again, if you make changes here on the grid, it's going to reflect it on the graph. You can see there's some various chart types. You can see it as a pie chart. Again, remember, you can select your objects. You can see it up here. Select my object, select my object, select my object, deselect it, select it again. I can then do whatever I want with it. I can save it to my database, pass it as parameters for other applications, drill down to, I drill down in this case. Pretty cool. So yeah, pretty cool, I think. So I can drill down even further. Select objects two, post select that just two. So yeah, let's go back home. What else? Oh, so there's reporting services. So I do not have reporting services here, and that's because I have this site hosted in HostGator, and HostGator is not set up for reporting services. So to get to the site in the internet, all you have to do is go to http:// unilisa.net. So it's Unilisa right here, unilisa.net. So it's HTTPS, has security socket layers, so it has a lot of security. HTTPS:// unilisa.net. So I have this set up on a shared server. So the disadvantage of that is that I am sharing my website with other web developers that have their website on the same server. The disadvantage to that is that if there's a lot of traffic, then it may time out. So if it times out in my case, what it does, it goes back to this home page. If you're going from one page to another and it times out because there's a lot of traffic, it'll go back to this home page, and then you can redo that. You can click on that link again, and that's because I am on a shared server. So their suggestion, if you don't want to have that problem, to go to a dedicated server, but of course it's going to cost more, right? And I don't. This is just a demo site, so I don't need to pay that extra money. It's going to cost a lot more. So it's good. It's okay to be on a shared server in my case. So yeah, so reporting, let's close this guy. So reporting services, let me just show you an example here. Let's go to staging acceptance testing. I'll show you an example of a dashboard using reporting services. So right up here, Voila. So reporting services is used to develop really complex reports. You can have grouping, sub-reports. In fact, I have a lot of sub-reporting here. So these are sub-reports right here. And I put them into a single canvas so you can see everything here. This is my dashboard using reporting services. What you can do is you can export it to various formats such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF, and print it out as well. Pretty slick. Yeah, let's close this guy. Go back to my demo site. So what else is there to talk about? Oh, so I have a learning center right here, has a library of videos. So yeah, pretty cool. So I think this is like, for example, I have a bunch of stuff on the Tableau JavaScript API. I did a lot of narrative videos on that. Uh, Music selections, I can listen to music while I'm coding. How to um, yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff here. So when I worked for UCSF for added security, we would use UCSF Box. But I like YouTube. YouTube, you can make things private so only certain people can see it. You can make it so you can have the people you want to see it and have it private to everyone else. So you can do that. One thing I like about YouTube that I don't have in UCSF Box, for example, let me show you. And you can have timelines. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if I go here, I have a timeline here, and I go to YouTube here, stop this, you can have timelines here. So I can go to a specific section in my video. I can go to Lake Merced. Let's say click on that. You can have timelines. I think that's really cool. You can go to a specific section of your video. Really helps when you're, especially, well, with anything, but with learning how, like I create videos for narrative videos so that users can learn to go navigate through a specific to a specific interface, right? But they may understand a lot of how to use the interface or yeah, a lot of the navigations, but a specific part they want to go to using having timelines, they could just click on that timeline or that title, that description timeline, and go directly to that video section. I think that's really helpful. I think that's super helpful. That's what I like about YouTube. And you don't have that with UCSF Box. What else is there to talk about? I think I'm pretty much done. Let's do some fun. Oh, my resume. So if you want to go to my resume, just click here. It's in a PDF. Voila. And you can sign in if you have questions. Yeah, so I can have contact information on you. So here, let's do some fun stuff. Last but not least, we are going to play some games, celebrity dice games. So this is something I wrote when we had UCSF Box. UCF Box. When we had the UCSF Sharecase Convention 2019. So we wanted a way to show off our user-friendly interfaces. So we had a booth and we would show people in Sharecase 2019. In this game, what we would do is we can select celebrities. Here's Charlie Theron, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Brady, for example. I selected 3 celebrities, post these celebrities, and voila. So we can show off our user-friendly interfaces. I can show off drag and drop sorting. I can move Chris Hemsworth up here, Charlie Theron down here, move her back up, put it back the way it was. And or my flat menus right here. I play my Feel Lucky game. So the object of the game is just to match these celebrities. So to have Charlie Theron match Charlie Theron, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Brady match with Tom Brady. You have 3 tries. Start game. Click here, roll my dice. Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, try again.
Sorry, try again. Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, try again.
So I got one more try. Come on, get lucky. Here we go. Oh, I got it 3 times a charm.
Congratulations, you're a winner.
I'm a winner. Okay, so that's how that works. And I have so this game here was when I wanted to learn how objects move. Here's my silhouette bird and my zap button. Just click on it. I wanted to show how to do drag and drop objects. So you come up here. Voila, here's the bird over here. So it was just a way of learning how to move objects. And I also created a game, the same game here, using replacing the silhouette bird with an eagle. And I did that when the 49ers lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. I needed a way to vent my frustrations on that game, on their loss. So I replaced the silhouette bird with an eagle. So let me show you this. So I'll click on this eagle button right here. You can see eagle flying here. I'm Brock Purdy of the 49ers. Click here. So that was a way of venting my frustration on the 49ers loss. So let's go back home. Last but not least, let's go to my favorite game, something I developed 20 years ago. So US Map Brain game. Here I have my videos here where I can select videos right over here. One of yours, what else I have? So I can select so I can or select music here so I can listen to music uh, while I am playing my US map game. So, but yeah, I can lower the volume here because there's sound here as well. So this map game, which I developed 20 years for my kids, so that my son and daughter could learn their capitals and states in a fun way, and it had their voices too. So for example, if you heard it say um, find California, you would click on California and you would hear my son or daughter's voice saying, got it. If you click on the wrong state, it would say no. And after 3 tries, it would say skip and it would go to another state and you would have 60 seconds to play this game. And after the 60 seconds was up, you would hear my daughter at 4 years old say, game over. So let's go and play. Oh, one thing to note is I made enhancements in 2023, 20 years later, so that if you got 21 or more states, you would see the balloons and confettis come rise up like you did in a celebrities game. So let's play the state game. So there's a state and capital game. I'm going to come here and play the state game. Click here.
Find Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is up
Find
here.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Find Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Find Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Find California.
Easy pleasing.
Find South Carolina.
South Carolina's
Find
down
Arkansas.
here. Arkansas is over
Find
here.
Maine.
Maine's over here.
Find Hawaii.
Hawaii's down here.
Find Idaho.
Idaho.
Find Nevada.
Nevada's
Find
right
Colorado.
here. Colorado.
Find Missouri.
Missouri.
Find Florida.
Easy pleasing.
Find District of Columbia.
Columbia.
Find Utah.
Utah, right
Find
here.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Find Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. It's here, I think.
Find Ohio. Find Arizona.
Arizona.
Find Michigan.
Michigan.
Find Oregon.
Oregon.
Find
Right
Pennsylvania.
here. Pennsylvania.
Find Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Find North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Find North
right here.
Dakota.
North Dakota.
Find Nebraska.
Nebraska. New Jersey. New Jersey. Can't
Game
remember.
over.
Oh, 28. Good enough. All I needed was 21 states. The most I ever got
You're
was
awesome.
35.
I
I'm
think I
awesome.
love you.
She loves
Please
me.
play again.
Good enough. I don't need to play again. The most I got was 35. And that's because I programmed this game, right? So I had to play it over and over again. But yeah, so you need 21 states to see the balloons rise and confetti rise. So that's pretty much it. Let's go back home. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So again, I think it's really beneficial to have a database website for research and data analysis because you can be anywhere in the world to enter your data and share your data with everybody, right? So yeah. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.